Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. Got my book of notes ready to go, so let's begin. I remember growing up in a community where we had close relations to our neighbors. We said hi when we met them in the streets, or when they walked past our houses. We asked questions and we were concerned about each other. We cared for each other back then, during the 80s. I remember as a kid even going across the street to a neighbor, borrowing a cup of sugar because my mom was baking a cake or some kind. And I also remember going over with that cake to the neighbor saying thank you for borrowing this sugar, lending us this sugar. We have this cake for you. Hi, I'm Jörgen. Welcome to this video about my project Boring and Mundane. And in this video I'll be talking about the invisible people. Now, what do I mean by the invisible people? Stay tuned, and at the end of this video you'll understand what I'm talking about, or blabbering about. Now, fast forward about 40 years, from 1984 to 2024. Or 1985 to 2025, depending on when this video will be posted on YouTube. Now, as an adult, I live in a great area. Me and my wife, we have a great apartment, and we live a generally happy life in this great area of this town we live in. I always listen to music when I walk to our local grocery store, which is a couple of 100 meters from where we live, 200-300 meters perhaps. And you might say that stars kind of aligned in a straight line one day when I walked to this grocery store. I was listening to an album by my favorite Swedish artist called Thåström. And he was singing about a man listening to his neighbors dealing with their lives through the walls of his apartment where he lived. And the thought came to mind. Just like a light bulb going. Where are all the people that used to be out back in the day? I mean, sometimes the street where we live feels like a zombie apocalypse just occurred. I mean, when I grew up, I remember streets in the area where I lived. And that was an even smaller town than where I live now. And back then people were outside, talking, buzzing, walking, whatever, running around in parks. And when I listened to this song by Thåström and I walked to the grocery store, I felt alone. And the few people I met walking to the grocery store were either looking down in the street in front of them like this, or they were just using their phone to whatever they were using it for, and they didn't pay any attention to anything that happened around them. So walking home again, I couldn't let this thought, I couldn't push it out of my mind. And I came to realize that the most contact I have with my neighbors are when I hear them through the wall or the ceiling. I miss the times when we talked to our neighbors and befriended our neighbors. So, here are some photographs depicting what I mean when I talk about the invisible people. I hear them through the walls. They're fighting, making love, talking, playing. Looking out through the window, empty streets, empty grass, invisible people looking back at me. Weekend, the party, game night, I hear it all through the walls. Looking out through the window, all I see is the invisible people looking back at me. How do you feel about your neighbors? Are you friends with them? Do you see them? Or is it like me, do you just hear them through the walls? Thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.